If you're still asking yourself the question, how long should I work out for, bro? I'm sorry to say, but you're stupid. You're not that intelligent. And in this video, I will show you exactly why that's a dumb question to ask yourself or ask other people, and I'll show you the alternative, what question you should actually be asking yourself. And I'll do that with showing you an example. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, who are you? Why should I listen to you? Well, I started my fitness journey 8 years ago, and this is how I looked like. This was my starting point. I was fat, insecure, shy. I couldn't recognize that girls were actually into me, even though I had a girlfriend in primary school. But anyway. And then, I just said, fuck it. I was sick and tired of being fat. I imagined my life where it would be, and I was like, fuck that shit. I need to change. And I had a transformation right here, right? So, let's jump straight into the video. This video is for entrepreneurs and business owners. You shouldn't be asking yourself, how long should I work out for? Because that makes literally no sense. Okay? And I'll give you an example. Let's say that me and you go into the gym and we're gonna train biceps, for example. We choose an exercise, whatever that exercise is. Let's say just barbell curls, right? Or dumbbell curls, doesn't matter. You do 10 sets of curls. I do only 3 sets. You spend 40 minutes doing those 10 sets, and I spend only 10 minutes doing my sets. You train easy, you train like a pussy, you leave 5 reps in the tank because I don't want to train hard, while I train close to failure, if not to failure. I spend way less time on my workout while you spend way more. Who do you think is going to make more progress from that weightlifting session? It's going to be me. Why? Because I actually trained hard and you didn't. And you need to understand that training intensity is way more important than any other training variable out there. Okay? Because the bottom line is, if you're not training hard, you're not giving your body a reason to grow. You're not giving the stimulus that it needs to grow. So, the question you should be asking yourself instead is not how long should I train for, but what should I do in the gym? Like, how much volume, how hard should I train, what should my intensity be, what should my frequency be, how often should I be lifting, how should I train to build an aesthetic body, right? And I'll answer all of those questions right now. When it comes to intensity, you want to train close to failure or to failure. Okay, I never personally had a problem with this because I just naturally train hard. Almost every set is to failure virtually for me. And I've been doing this shit for 8 years, so you can imagine, right? Unless you're a beginner, then you don't need to train that hard, okay? Just learn the technique, learn the proper form so that you can build yourself up. For volume, this might sound crazy or surprising, but I'm not really a fan of high volume training. I prefer lower volume, balls to the wall, hard training, get in, get out of the gym as soon as possible. So maybe you could consider doing only like 4, 5, 6 sets per muscle group per week. I know that might sound crazy because if you watch any of the fitness content, they tell you 10 to 20 sets per muscle group per week. That is kind of like the general consensus. But maybe just try the lower volume approach, and then if you need more, if you're not growing, then add in more. Focus on lower volume and make those sets count. For example, if you're on the bench press, instead of having 5 sets, maybe just have 2 and push those sets close to failure. Maybe the first set you can go like 2 reps in reserve, right? Not totally to failure, but the last set you can push it really to failure, right? And then for frequency, how often should you train a muscle group? I say 1 to 2 times a week. Right now, I'm only training a muscle group once per week, and in total, for the whole week, I'm only training twice in the whole week. I'll make a video in the future explaining exactly why I'm doing this, because it's not common for somebody to train this rarely, right? Most people train like 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. Yeah, so for frequency, 1 to 2 times a week, use muscle soreness to gauge if your training volume, intensity, and frequency is in place. For example, let's say that you train a muscle group on Monday, and then you're supposed to train it on Thursday, and it's still really sore, then you train too hard and you should like lower your volume. a little bit, right? Or the intensity, just play around with the variables. And that's it. It's pretty simple, right? Train hard, close to failure or to failure. Do 4, 5, 6 sets per week per muscle group, just as a starting point. If you're more advanced, obviously you can maybe do more. And just train a muscle group 1 to 2 times a week. And if you watched this far in the video and you're thinking, oh, but no, I'm not going to listen to you, I'm just going to keep doing my high volume approach. Well, if you're making good progress on that, then keep doing what you're doing, right? Don't fix what's not broken. But if you're not, I would seriously take a look at your training, right? Because I'm just gonna be honest, if you don't take this advice, you might be continuing to spin your wheels for months or years. I see this a lot in the gym, especially when I got started 8 years ago. I was very meticulous. I was tracking everything, my lifts, my food, everything. And I trained hard, right? But I saw so many people that did high volume, but they just stay the same for years. They still look the same. Like, is it a coincidence? Maybe, maybe not, right? So I wouldn't ignore this advice. If you got this far into the video, I would appreciate it if you consider subscribing, giving it a like, because that way I see that you're liking this type of content, these topics, and I can just simply make more of them for you. And if you want personalized one-on-one help, you want to work privately with me, you want my knowledge, access to me, you don't want to make the mistakes that I'd made and waste your time, then consider messaging me on the platform called Skool, which is going to be the first link in the description. Let's chat if you're down. If you're not ready, that's fine. You can watch this video on the screen next, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.